Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're doing urban legends from Kansas. Our first urban legend is Stoll Cemetery. Stoll is a quiet, peaceful town in Kansas that is rumored to be one of the 7 gateways to hell. It's said that within the tiny, decrepit Stoll Cemetery, there are a set of hidden steps that lead straight into the underworld. The steps are covered by a hidden seal that appears only on Halloween and on the spring equinox, making their location almost impossible to find. The cemetery is said to be a place where witches and cults practice dark rituals, and that mysterious townsfolk guard Stoll from disturbances of this day. There are many stories of thrill-seeking trespassers being chased out of the town by pickup trucks, sometimes even being tailed for miles. If I were you, I'd stay clear of this town. Our next urban legend is Child's Play Cemetery. It's said that at Child's Play Cemetery in Burlington, Kansas, you can find the rather active ghost of young children running about. If you sit in the cemetery in your car for a few minutes at night, you will eventually hear a loud thud on the outside of your car. This is the cue to leave immediately. Only once you have driven to the next town can you stop your car and get out. When you inspect it with a flashlight, you will find lots of little handprints all over your car. The next urban legend is Bird Bridge. The story tells that a preacher from a nearby town teamed up with his mistress to murder his wife, allowing them to then be together. As such, the pair drugged his wife and killed her by pushing her car off the side of the Bird Bridge. It is said that to this day you can still hear the screams of the betrayed wife, and that sometimes you can even see her ghost walk to the shore out from the water. Beware if you pass by this bridge. The next urban legend is the Devil's Chair. In the 1800s, an old farmer owned a particular plot of the land that town officials had been trying to get him to sell, but he continually refused. One day, as he was collecting water from a well on his property, somebody snuck up behind him and pushed him in. A week later, when town officials stopped by his farm to try to convince him to sell again, they noticed an awful smell coming up from the well, which they promptly boarded up. Today, that very same well sits in the middle of the Alma Cemetery, and it is said that if you sit on the boarded up well, now known as the Devil's Chair, you will never be seen again. You know which chair I'm avoiding. The next urban legend is a haunted Walmart in Kansas. In Chanute, there is allegedly a haunted Walmart supercenter. According to legend, when the Walmart was being built, a man died in the parking lot. Now his presence haunts the Walmart. He's said to often linger in the children's aisle, where he misplaces items and lures children away from their parents, and they are never seen again. The Phantom is also said to appear every Halloween. If I knew the exact place, I would tell you to never take your children to this Walmart. The next urban legend is at SAUER Castle. This haunted Kansas mansion has many gruesome tales attached to it, but certainly the most awful one involves the tragic suicides committed by a husband and wife during the Civil War. The owner of the house had gone to fight and instructed his wife to wait for the arrival of a particular ferry that he would be coming home on. When her husband did not return on that ferry, she assumed him dead and hung herself in the bell tower. However, he was in fact still alive, and upon his arriving home, he found his wife dead and killed himself out of misery. It's said that strange lights and noises emanate from the house's bell tower to this day. The next urban legend is the legend of Molly's Hollow. In Jackson Park, it is said that the ghostly figure of a young girl named Molly haunts the grounds. The story tells that Molly was an African-American woman who had fallen deeply in love with a white man. However, the townsfolk did not approve. Soon after the relationship was discovered, Molly went missing and was later found hanging from a tree in this very park. Rest in peace, Molly. The next urban legend is the Old Stanley Hotel. This 126-year-old hotel in Overland Park has certainly seen its share of tragedies and terror. The original owner was suddenly killed when run over by a horse and cart. And during an unexplained 1983 fire, it's said that witnesses glimpsed the devil in the flames. An old schizophrenic man who lived in the hotel frequently also claims to have seen a woman in white hovering in his room on numerous occasions. However, when he would reach out to her, she would instantly vanish. I could not find any of the Old Stanley Hotel on fire. I am extremely sorry. The next urban legend takes place at Fort Leavenworth. Fort Leavenworth is considered to be one of the most haunted Army bases in the U.S. and is home to a number of helpful and malignant spirits. It has been seen centuries of war and is home to a military prison called the United States Disciplinary Barracks. During World War II, there was a prisoner uprising, and as punishment for their unruliness, one prisoner was hung every hour for 14 hours. They quickly ran out of space in the gallows and also used one of the elevator shafts in the administration building to hang people. Ever since then, screams have been heard from that same elevator shaft at odd hours. Not surprisingly, nearly every building on the base has a horrifying story attached to it. The next urban legend is at Saline River. According to legend, a Native American ghost by the name of Takaluma is said to walk the banks of the Saline River and was first spotted by a cowboy in the winter of 1879. Takaluma's spirit was condemned to wander the river until he found the skull of his dead father, who had been murdered by white men in the 1840s. The ghost rose from his burial mound and warned that far more powerful spirits might join in the search, but the skull has still never been found. I do not recommend finding the skull. The next urban legend is at Moon Lake. Nearby Moon Lake, there is a place that is known as a Chief's Circle. Those who have spent the night camping there have reported seeing what appeared to be a low-flying firefly swooping around in pairs, accompanied by strange noises and howling. It is said that these little lights are actually the spirits of Native Americans protecting the lake and surrounding lands from intruders. Beware, if you ever camp there, of these spirits and don't piss them off. The last urban legend for today is the Man in Black. Legend tells that a mysterious man dressed in all black can be seen walking back and forth along US 56 near 189th Street in Kansas. It's said that he walks for a while on the side of the road before suddenly vanishing right in front of your eyes. No one has ever been able to determine who this man was or why he continues to haunt this particular span of road. So if you live near here or pass through, beware of the Man in Black. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like. If you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe and turn the bell notification on so you know when I post. And let me know which story was the creepiest, scariest, or if you'll ever visit these places. Let me know down below. Bye-bye for now.